Hey everybody, welcome to Kimmel's Irish Pub. Time for another movie review. Tonight's movie, You People. Jonah Hill, Eddie Murphy. It's following a couple and their family, or a couple of couples and their families, and different cultures and different dynamics and all that kind of stuff. I don't know, it doesn't really say much on here. It said more on Netflix, but I don't always read that. I only share what's on IMDb. Jonah Hill, like I said, Lauren London, Louis-Dreyfus is in it, Neil Long, David Duchovny is in it. Wow, so there's a lot of Elliot Gould. Anyway, there's a lot of people in this. That's kind of cool. Brian Greenberg, One Tree Hill, pretty sure. Anyway, so here's the bad news. 5.6 on IMDb, 16,855 people rated it so far. So kind of low. But I'll go into it with low expectations. Maybe I'll like it. It is also an hour and 58 minutes, almost an hour and 59 minutes, I guess. So 2-hour long film with low ratings with good superstars. Normally I would wait for the weekend. I was going to watch it when it came out. I missed it. Didn't have the opportunity. So now here I am. But let's see. Let's get into it. I'll find out what's out about, give you a better idea, let you know if it's worth the 2 hours. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, I want to do a quick check-in here. We're watching You People. We're at the 54-minute, 7-second mark. There's an hour and 4 minutes and 44 seconds. So under halfway by about 10 minutes, right? Or 5 minutes, whatever. But I thought it was a good point to stop. And I get it right now. So I think, try and get this out early, so I encourage people to watch this film. So sometimes people rate films based on, obviously, the content, the message, the political stance, all that kind of stuff. So, and I think, I'm only in it, an hour, but I think it's much higher than the 5.6 that they have it rated at, right? So though Jonah Hill and what was her name, Laura London, I guess. Let me just double check that. Lauren London, right? But they meet and they kind of hit it off, right? And so they decide that they want to get married, so get engaged, kind of thing, right? So the whole first hour is about all that stuff. Them getting together, finding each other, getting a little bit of background on the two of them. Jonah Hill, he has a podcast, but he's also a broker, and he's Jewish. And she is a black woman, and Eddie Murphy and Nina Long, I think is her name, is playing her mother. So they fall in love, everything like that, but now it comes to the point where, they have to meet each other's parents, and then the parents have to meet each other. So that's what's really going on. It's about an interracial mixed marriage, or at least engagement so far, relationship I should say, with very different beliefs from not only cultural beliefs, but also religion and stuff like that. So that's why I think maybe people might rate it low, because of that type of content in here. But I'll tell you this, there were some scenes that I was nearly crying laughing. I think Jonah Hill, at first I was worried. When you see it and you see the beginning and the way his character is, he seems like overly cultured, I guess. I don't know, like overly hip, talking in slang, and maybe, it's probably not. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot more people out there who are, more with it than I am. Kind of, in my basement doing movie reviews where they're out there knowing the lingo, knowing all the culture, the pop culture and all that stuff that's going on. But in the beginning I was just like, I felt he was overdoing it. But that was right in the beginning. As it goes forward, it's not there. It's more of his podcast character than it is his actual character in the movie. And while he does, is still with it, as I said, or hip, dresses nice and wears all the right stuff, it doesn't take away from the film. I think he's really funny in this. So I like that. I like his interaction. Eddie Murphy so far is not funny. He's more of a serious role. So Louis-Dreyfus and David Duchovny are the parents, or Jonah Hill's parents, you know, so they're funny in their own right. So there is a lot of funny scenes and some that are uncomfortable, as you can imagine, when they're put in certain situations, but there's just some good stuff. He goes to Yom Kippur and he's walking the crowd and he's meeting these people and they're saying different things, and his just responses are funny. So there's that piece. There's you know, when he meets her parents for the first time, there's a lot of funny stuff going on. So I think there's a lot of laugh out loud moments in the first hour that makes me enjoy this film. So again, like I said, it's a very, you know, I guess you know, anytime race or religion or politics, you know, that never really scores well. For whatever reason. But if you take it for what it is, I mean, it's like a modern day Meet the Parents kind of thing. That's what we just saw. And I'm sure it's going to be different as we go forward, but if you've seen Meet the Parents, this is just more, you know, more like that, but more modern. I don't know. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes here. But so far, I'm pretty excited. So if you just stuck this far and you're contemplating watching this because of the scores, as of an hour, it's worth the watch. But we'll see what the other hour holds. So stick around. I'll be back. Hey everybody, we're at the credits of You People. And I have to say, again, the low scores just have to be because of the topic or the, you know, and I get it, okay. Now, I will say, it doesn't stay as funny as it was in the beginning portion of it, you know, but you expect that in these kinds of movies, and probably in Meet the Parents. I actually forget, but I'm sure, you know, the fact that the parents can't, you know, get along, or, you know what I mean, can't get past all the religion, the race, everything that's going on, and, you know, of course they don't want the marriage necessarily to happen, or at least one of them doesn't, so on and so forth. So you think it's all gonna, it's all gonna come to a head, right? So the bad part is eventually gonna happen, where you know, not everybody's happy. So it brings in the serious tone. You can't take it all the way through and just be funny with this type of plot line, right? It's got to come to that uncomfortable place, and that kind of brings down the fun of the movie, at least for me. You know, until it can potentially rebound and, you know, everybody's happily ever after. I'm not saying that's what happened, who knows, but that's the only way that this movie can go when you're watching it. So it brings down the mood, eliminates a lot of the laughter, and takes that serious tone. So outside of that, though, which happens in all of these romantic comedy movies, right? I mean, for the most part, I mean, it's textbook. You know it's going to happen. But outside of that, I thought it was funny. I did. I enjoyed it a lot. I liked Jonah Hill. You know, I was disappointed there wasn't more comedy from Eddie Murphy, as I mentioned earlier. But David Duchovny, Louis-Dreyfus, I keep forgetting her, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, I thought she was funny. Jonah Hill, if I didn't say that already. And there's other people, you know, throughout the movie. There's a couple cameos and stuff like that. But then there's some other people in it who are funny too. But for the most part, it really relies on them. And definitely worth watching. So if you're okay with the subject matter, I think you'll enjoy this one. Especially it's on Netflix, right? Little long, but it needed to be. You needed that backstory. And to make it that long, you know, to make it as good as I thought it was. Definitely worth watching. Not a 5.6, a 6 or a 7 for me. But you know, I hopefully can look past all of the stuff that nobody else seems to like, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, check it out. Let me know what you think. Definitely worth the watch if you have Netflix. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Kimmel's Irish Pub.